లైవ్ చేస్తున్నాను సార్.
చేయండి.
జూమ్ పెట్టా. ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ పెట్టాలి. కింద ఇది వస్తుంది సార్. సార్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను సార్. Good evening, Dr. Khadar sir.
Namaste.
And good evening to all members. I am Padmaja Umadar, welcoming you all for today's session about kidneys. Let me give you a brief about Dr. Khadar, the man behind millet revolution. May all forms of life enjoy the state of well-being. We, being a part of nature, should lead a life that does not burden or harm Mother Nature in any way. He is at the core of Dr. Khadar Valli's work. He is also popularly known as the Millet Man of India. For the last 3 decades, Dr. Khadar has dedicated his works to the cause of conserving and caring Mother Nature and guiding the humanity on using some of her most precious natural gifts, millets or Siridhanya. Through his works, he has inspired many people to make a conscious shift in the way we consume food and the lifestyle we lead. Dr. Khadar settled in Mysuru. He completed his MSc education from Regional College of Education, Mysuru. Later, he went on to do PhD on steroids at the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. After working as a postdoctoral fellow of environmental science at Beaverton, Oregon, and working as a scientist at CFTRI for 3 years, he then joined a US-based company, DuPont. He worked there for 4 years before finding his true calling. It was almost 30 years ago when, irked by an unnatural incident, the US scientist decided to return to India. It led him to the pursuit of the magic grains, which can cleanse the human race of its malign food consumptions. He worked hard to revive 5 different types of millets that were fast disappearing. In the process of consuming each of these millets, he discovered that the healing properties present in them could cure even deadly diseases. Hence, he named these 5 positive millets as Siridhanya. To cultivate them naturally, Dr. Khadar propounded a method called Kadukrushi, also known as jungle farming. He sacrificed his high-paying MNC job all to recreate a healthy and sustainable society for future generations. He connects all the dots by educating people about health, educating farmers about cultivation and preservative methods in farming. He is also contributing to the preservation of water and nature. People often have a misconception that he is speaking only about health. However, he speaks about a wide range of topics, with health being is just one aspect. His dream is a healthy and a sustainable society. With this and his efforts, lot of farmers started cultivating millets and establishing bull-driven oils, which is either directly or indirectly creating employment and generating revenue, which is an appreciative and a very good sign towards a healthy society. Thank you, sir, for bringing millets revolution for a healthy society. Now we will go into the topic discussion with Dr. Khadar. In today's world, 10% of the population worldwide is affected by chronic disease and millions die, kidney chronic disease, and millions die each year because they do not have access to affordable treatment. Over 2 million people worldwide currently receive treatment with dialysis or a kidney transplant to stay alive. At this number may only represent 10% of the people who actually need treatment to live. It is estimated that the number of cases of kidney failure will increase disproportionately in developing countries such as China and India, where the number of elderly people are increasing. In middle-income countries, treatment with dialysis or kidney transplantation creates a huge financial burden for the majority of the people who need it. In another 112 countries, many people cannot afford treatment at all, resulting in death of over 1 million people annually from untreated kidney failure. So in this situation, what is your recommendation and views on this? What is the affordable treatment that they can get naturally and prevent kidney failures from our lifestyle? Sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. First of all, I just want to correct Padmaja. She
Yes,
keeps
sir.
telling I have sacrificed my job and come to India. No, actually, I was very happy to get out of the country, America, and come back to India. So I have actually not sacrificed anything.
But you dedicated your life now, sir, for a healthy society.
Yeah, that much is true. That much is true, and that is my life. I mean, I personally think I had to live a true life, not a compromised life. So, so saying that I've sacrificed is not the right way. I have chosen to do this personally. So there is nothing big about leaving the job and all that. Yeah, comfortable. All those are very difficult words for me to accept because that life was not all right. So I was looking to build my own world, my own life, and so that's the reason why I came back. And I had a clear picture of what to do, what not to do, how to live, how not to live. It's just that I was not willing to swim with the current that is presently going on with in the name of science. In the name of science, you see, being a scientist, I could not be doing unscientific things in the name of science, and so that's the basic reason why I had to come back. And another important reason, I didn't want my daughter to be vaccinated. So this vaccines is a big business, and the people are now realizing what I have done 30 years back. So all these things matter a lot. And another important reason I came back is also that I had to take care of my mother, and I didn't want. Of course, I could have taken her to America, but that's also again giving her a very bad life in America. So a lot of other reasons like this, and I am a free soul. I cannot tolerate someone suppressing our freedom, human rights, and even now I'm actually agitated because we are all being forced to get vaccinated. You see, our constitution clearly specifies taking any medication, leave alone vaccination, any medication is voluntary, not mandatory. This is very clearly written in our constitution. So I personally think everyone should stand up and then say no to, if they want to, if they are willing to take vaccination, they should demand vaccination. And the government is not actually doing it the right way because there are no vaccines available. It's only there available for some few people who can pay money, and for poor people it is not available. You see, this is very bad. So if a poor person wants to vaccination, it is his right to go and shout and get court notice to the government, and that is what is given in our constitution. And I don't want to take vaccination. No one can force me to get vaccination, and that is the constitutional rights we have. And there cannot be any mandatory regime being pressed on us. This, despite the pandemic or pandemic law being in vogue, still you have a right to say no to vaccination. This is according to Supreme Court judgment given on June 26th. So we got to be aware of things. And I urge everyone to read the basic constitution, whether you are a scientist, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are a software engineer. And sadly, that's not is what is happening. You know, everyone should be. In fact, it should be made mandatory for school kids that they should read Constitution somewhere in the education. There should be a school curriculum or college curriculum. It should be done. So that apart, kidneys. We are supposed to talk about kidneys today. And so what are kidneys? There are two kidneys in our body. I hope everyone knows where they are. From the navel, they are little towards right and left. There are two, which are basically a cleaning apparatus for us. Basically, they filter. And as I have been telling you, that without toxic morbid waste being removed on a daily basis, no one can be healthy. And to do that, we need fiber-rich millets, which keep us clean on a daily basis, because the soaked, hydrated fiber, soluble, insoluble fiber, two parts of it, occupying all parts in the body, cleaning up every day all the toxic morbid waste. Where are these toxic morbid waste getting generated? Hey, we are supposed to eat good food, healthy food, and no toxic things. And but as I have explained to you in many of my talks, that when you generate energy from glucose burning with oxygen, you're generating what is called carbon dioxide, and that is in the form of gas. And if you allow it to accumulate in your body, you're going to die in 5 to 10 minutes. That much toxic that is. That's why, in fact, we have associated with our inhaling, we exhale immediately, not more than 30-40 seconds, unless you train yourself to keep holding the breath for longer period on a meditative processes, which actually helps you to collect all the carbon dioxide completely dissolved in all kinds of places, the blood. And so where does this exchange takes place? Every cell creates carbon dioxide. Every nook and corner of our body creates carbon dioxide, but all of it is routed to lungs. And then there is exchange. The blood, which is carrying oxygen, going inside, catch holds of the carbon dioxide and gets it out. So the same way, the gases are released through carbon dioxide. The most toxic gas for us is released through lungs. It looks like lungs is doing all the job, but actually the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen is happening near the lungs efficiently. And then we feel that, oh, lungs are doing the job. The same way, you want to excrete lot of other toxic chemicals. One of them, especially urea, and then its derivatives like creatinine and uric acid and other things. They are actually the result of our protein getting digested and the left out things. So urea is actually, if you look at the plant which makes the amino acids and then protein, it is the biochemical pathway of biosynthesis of proteins. You have the urea is one of the important starting or one of the starting materials. So when we digest whatever is left, you got to go out. That is urea and then creatinine, uric acid. All that is actually water soluble things. They are not gas material. So they are solubilized in water, in the blood, and then slowly it has to be filtered. So you have to get into a mechanism of filtering these salts, which are not required or which are excess, to be thrown out in the liquid form. So what am I getting to? There is a gas excretion. Of course, there are some more gases which our rectum and the anus does. If you are healthy, the gases should pass down. In Kannada, we call apanavayu. And if the system is not all right, your digestion is not all right, the gas comes out through mouth also, which is a wrong thing and a very dangerous build up for your further screwing up of your health. So that is gas excretion, carbon dioxide and this and that side, digestive unwanted gases. And then so you have gas, and then you have urine. Urine excretion is a liquid form. So then the next excretion is shit. You are passing out stools through rectum, and then whole set of peristaltic muscular action throws out the solid waste. And then there's one more excretion, that is through your skin, which is actually not either liquid or gas, or it's called plasma condition. So the sweat that comes out of the skin is another form of excretion.
Recording
There are
in
also
progress.
some of the salts and unwanted things come out. So this excretion, God has done it so intelligently, so beautifully, that you are excreting all things in 4 different forms. And that is the beautiful thing. And the most important and large amounts of toxic waste is excreted through urine, because you urinate 4 to 5 times. And it is very important that you drink enough water. So we have around 5 liters of blood. So approximately 1.5 to 2.5 liters of water you have to consume daily, because you excrete that much, and you need this hydrating system to get all these unwanted salts, protein, metabolites being converted to urea. And because that is the starting materials in the opposite way, so you have to throw it out. So this is the kidney. Kidney, what it does, it takes the blood, which is not clean, loaded with all this stuff, and then you have a filtering mechanism. And kidneys are, they are called kidney shaped. So you don't want to describe what is the shape of kidney, because kidney is the shape we describe even our beans, kidney beans we call. That means they are kidney shaped. Though they are deeply stuck in our body, everyone knows how kidney looks like. I hope everyone knows who are listening to this talk. So there is a blood vessel going into the kidney, and so you have to filter. Filter means what? Basically, it is just like filtering your decoction, coffee decoction. You have coffee with coffee powder, and then you boil it, and you have so-called decoction. So whatever materials that are boiled and then abstracted or just getting into the water, soluble into water, and then you have a cloth, and then you pour that. So the coffee powder stays there, and the coffee decoction with caffeine and all things come out. So what is the filter part here? It is the cloth. Am I right? So
Yes,
the cloth has certain holes which do not allow things to come out. So what can come out through that holes, that is liquid form, comes out. So the same structures exist in kidney. The cells are called nephrons, okay, nephrotic cells. And they basically are filtering units. That means there are various kinds of, and it is not as simple as I have explained in the coffee decoction cloth. Because it is a live thing, there are certain actually attenuated cell structures which also recognize the salts, wanted, unwanted, not necessary, necessary, and the percentage of which it should be there. So when the blood flows through these nephrons, all these parameters are checked in, and then unwanted toxic chemicals, toxic materials generated in our biochemical process at various parts of our body. It is not just that kidney is filtering what is there inside the kidneys. It is being supplied with all these terms and conditions that it is meeting the process of cleaning. We are cleaning things in the liquid form, and we urinate. And after the filtration, you have 2 small tubules called ureters, and then they both meet in a bladder. It's basically urinary sac where it accumulates, because you cannot go on urinating every minute. If it is you filter and then you cannot simply leak every minute. So
Yes, sir.
God has made us some sensible adjustments, that he gives you a sack wherein you accumulate a half a liter or 400 ml to 500 ml. Now it depends, variations are there depending upon the body size and all. For some it is small, for some it's big. But overall, the structure, and this is what actually happens. So when the bladder is full, you have a signal through nervous system, and then you go and defill yourself. And this is the thing that kidneys are involved in. So on a daily basis, you have 1 or 2, 3 times you defill, and then you are comfortable. And I want to also mention that it is one of the most important feelings for all human race. Once you defill, you feel good. Am I right? Just imagine your bladder is full, and then you are looking here and there for a toilet, and then you go, oh God, that's the best feeling you have. In fact, it gives you a lot of pleasure. Why? Why does it give you pleasure? Because the accumulated waste and things actually are thrown out. So your body is feeling clean. So without kidneys, the life is miserable. You cannot actually live for a long period. Maybe 2 days, 3 days, because the uncleaned blood starts going into lungs and heart, and everything starts getting blocked or failing of each function of this lungs or heart or liver. Everything can go wrong. So it is very, very important for all of us to keep our kidneys clean and functioning properly. Most of us keep talking about, oh, heart should be a heart attack. Heart is very important. But according to me, all these organs, small or big, are equally important. Nothing is unimportant in the system. So this is the reason why actually we all should understand the cleaning up of our body is very essential to be healthy. And God has given the provisions, and we need to be aware of what to do, what not to do, to keep these organs going and kicking well. Okay. So what is basically happening? We have proteins in our food, which if not digested properly, will be somehow broken down to urea, uric acid, and things they have to get out. So how much protein is the question. So of late, people are being told protein is good, you will make put on, and all this gym culture and exercise, pump this, that, and then you take steroids and then make muscles and all these kinds of things. But the more protein you eat, what is happening? The blood, the liver, the system is getting taxed to process it, and then whole thing is going to be dumped on kidneys. So what actually happens? The nephronic system, the filtering system, starts failing and start leaking the protein itself. Instead of taking urea out, it starts releasing the protein itself when the pressure is small. So what it means is, if you have blood pressure, for some other reason, your heart is blocked here and there, and blood vessels are blocked with the triglycerides, and so you have developed thick blood, and the blood pumping, your blood pressure is 150, 90, 160, 95, and then you start taking, to thin the blood, artificial tablets like ecosprin, esprin, datsprin, and then what happens? The blood becomes thinner. So where does it show its effect? It shows its effect on the filtering system. So you keep taking blood thinners, you keep taking these tablets, you keep taking steroids. Where all are they going? They're all going and getting stuck in kidneys. So that's why you take painkillers, steroids, all these things which are not digested, rather not metabolized properly. They will find themselves going and doing some gimmicks in the kidney. And who bears the brunt? The nephrotic system, the nephrons, the filtering unit. So you start losing the function of these nephrons bit by bit, bit by bit. Then you will start accumulating urea and creatinine, which is supposed to be thrown out, not able to throw out through the kidneys, it starts again recycling into the blood. So then you start increasing the blood urea levels. It has to be in certain range, say 20 to 40 or something. It increases beyond 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, then creatinine levels start increasing. All are to be removed. Certain amount is okay because the complete filtration is not possible, but there is no problem if you have your creatinine level up to 1.5 or up to 2 also. Nothing goes wrong because the system is built in that much capacity to take care of. But then urea is 100, 200, 180, then you have problems because the blood becomes very difficult and the lungs cannot have the exchange of gases, carbon dioxide, oxygen. So it starts affecting the lungs, it starts affecting the skin, it starts affecting the heart. So lot of side effects you call because of nephrotic system, your kidneys not functioning, all these things start happening. And then when the salts are increasing, you start accumulating water because salts start absorbing water. And so the body becomes swollen. The legs start swelling, the face starts swelling. All these side effects are what do we call? There's a derivative of this out of whack metabolism starts creating all these malfunctions, not just in kidneys, all other organs are going to be affected. So when we say kidneys, we are talking about all the essential functions are going to be hit. If not immediately, like carbon dioxide accumulated, we will die. It is not that fast, but it is going in that direction only. It's a matter of time. So what do these doctors have come up there? These doctors have come up, okay, whatever the kidneys were doing, we will do with a machine. And they called it dialysis machine.
Dialysis.
So they start removing creatinine, they're removing urea, and then, there are certain filters which absorb or some chemical filters. But as the technology is improving, we have different ways of doing these things based on our chemistry and physics. And machines are evolving, different kinds of setups, different mechanisms work. Whatever it is, what happens is you go and start, instead of pumping the blood into your kidneys, you are rerouting it to the dialysis machine and again entering it. So that's what is done in dialysis units. Essentially, they are trying to help your blood contaminated with all this toxic morbid waste to be cleaned up on 2 days. The first day will start 1 week once, then twice a week, and sometimes 3 times a week, like that. So it becomes a miserable part of your life that once the kidneys, it's called chronic kidney diseases, CKD, they call. Various kinds of names are given depending upon how it starts. So for some people, it is the diabetic condition when there is too much of glucose, HbA1c becoming higher and higher, can initiate the kidney loss of function over a period of time. And associated with sugar levels high, we start pumping in tablets, insulin, extra proteins, and this and that. So that also creates extra burden on the kidneys and they start losing their functionality. Sometimes, as I've explained to you in the earlier phase itself, that BP, blood pressure, can cause. So kidney is a very delicate organ, though it is very sturdy actually, but we are screwing it up. What it means is that now, as Padmaja reeled out, that there are many people are getting into this CKD condition. That means basically we are doing something wrong. That means the cleaning system at the root level, at every point of time where the millets come into picture, their fiber comes into picture, so that it is regulated and done it a proper fashion, so that there is no extra load for the kidney to take care of. So actually, God has given two kidneys. If one kidney goes, there is another kidney. One kidney is actually enough to do the function. But I believe God knows that we are going to screw up the system. So He's given one extra kidney. So, but we don't learn. One is gone, another is going to be screwed up. Again, you say, we'll transplant this. And see, all these artificial means, you are not going to keep your health. It's a miserable way of doing things. So that's why I keep telling. And luckily, if you start eating millets, especially ambali, and herein comes the role of microbes, because microbes in your gut can do a lot of good things for you, the symbiotic living microbes. So now this is about kidneys in general. Then a lot of people come up to our clinic for CKD problem, creatinine is high, urea is high, and they're going to dialysis weekly twice, sometimes weekly thrice. Can we help even such patients? Because they're declared, of course, they have declared diabetes as incurable. We have cured for the last 20 years. And I believe recently British, some journal, nutritional journal has, what to say, they have actually just said what I have been saying for the last 20 years. In their published journal, the nutritional journal, they have published 3 days back or 4 days back, a British journal has clearly stated what I have been shouting top of my voice, that diabetes is curable by eating millets. And they have done some experiments on 100 or 200 people, and they have written a paper. We have done thousands and lakhs of people.
Lakhs of people.
Lakhs of people. So the HbA1c down, and whatever I have been trying to tell people, they have written in a paper, and then I believe it is available. You can go through that paper, whatever it is. And I am sure these so-called scientists will keep finding out in coming next 20 years what I have said. They're going to and publish and say, yeah, they have done the work. That's fine with me. As long as they're coming up with the right discoveries. And so the same way, in another 10-15 years, I hope they will find out that millets, taking ambali and following the protocol, which we have been telling for a long time. And many, just day before yesterday, I had a patient coming from Visakhapatnam. He was on dialysis for 6 years. And for the last 3 years, he has been taking our protocol. And he came and said, sir, I have stopped going to the dialysis for the last 6 months and I have been all right. And they have been pressurizing me to get my kidneys transplanted now, even after showing that I have no problem and my creatinine level is at 1.6 and I have no urea problem, I have no breathing problem. In fact, I have gone up for a big trekking in Himalayas. Some trekking trip he has gone and come back. All these things, and see, he was on, but it took more than 2.5 years for him to get and I have also told in many of my lectures that nephrons and neurons to be replaced with new generation cells takes the longest time in our body. Just like our hemoglobin takes only 3 months, our nephrons and neurons take almost 7 years. So even half of them have to be regenerated. You need 2 to 3 years of time. So CKD patients have to be very patient and then do these protocols sincerely. I am thoroughly convinced with a lot of reportings of people who are doing well. And not only that, even when you are going through dialysis, you have a lot of problems, breathing troubles, edema, not able to eat well. You are always feeling like vomiting because the blood is not clean. That's what happens even on after dialysis, because the efficiency of a human kidney is never matched by any of these machines that we have still to discover. Okay, so that's what happens. That's what happens. But then when you start following these protocols, especially the CADAs are Boerhaavia diffusa, Punarnava, and then Ranapala, Bryophyllum, and cilantro, that is our dhania ka patta. All these wonderful kadas have shown lot of good effects, and people who follow the protocol of this kidney cleaning or dialysis protocol, they have been reporting that their life has been much better. They could do a lot of things which they otherwise they were not able to do, like walking, going for trekking, or even sustaining themselves through difficult travels, journeys like that. So the life becomes normal. Life becomes again functional. So that is the beauty of cleaning up of the system. And so it's important we garner tricks and try to help our parts of the body to do their job properly. And preventing these diseases is much more important than reversing, because millions of people are getting into the sickness because of this so-called scientific promulgation. These guys are declaring protein is good for you. What is good? The more protein, especially animal protein, is cause of this problems, because of this not being properly digested, because our system is not engaged in doing so. So we are forcing our system. So the urea, the creatinine starts accumulating. And then we start pressurizing our nephrons, and then we fall sick to CKD. So this is the way. I'm talking in common man terminology. So overall, this is what happens. And minute details, I do not like to go into. Each and every case may be a little different. This is a generalized way of looking at things. Okay. And sometimes many people have accidents that shock. Sometimes people have lost kidney function. But such things, generally, you reverse back easily. The system somehow finds itself. But then if you are actually a smoker, a alcohol consuming person, I don't want to use the drunkard and all that. So these things multiply your problems. And especially meat eaters have these problems more and more. So what if we understand the physiological requirements of not getting into CKD? That means not taking painkillers, not taking lot of processed foods, because many of the processed foods have a lot of chemicals that can kill the function of your kidneys. So this is what is more important according to me. And that's what I have been trying to communicate to people, that be clean, eat clean food, eat food that is cooked in your house, cook your food yourself if possible. All these things matter a lot. But nowadays we are actually eating this eggs, paneer, all in large quantities, thinking that it's good for us. And who is propagating this information that it is good for us? The so-called market forces. So please be aware that extra protein is not necessary. You need only 5% protein. That's all. And that too, plant protein. We have lots of beans, starting from kidney beans, tur dal, urud dal, chana dal, horse gram, green gram, all these wonderful proteinaceous materials. And you need only half fistful per day maximum. Actually, I would say half fistful for 2 days or 3 days. So you don't need to eat more of protein. The body can do things itself. So whatever little you eat, that's good enough. And you will be better off in carrying out your metabolic functions in a proper way when you have the right balanced food in your system. And cleaning up is what kidneys do. And let's help the kidneys to clean itself by making each and every cell not to send too much garbage to the blood and then the filtering system being taxed. So that part the food does. The soluble fiber traveling along with blood can take care of that issue. So when the certain things that cannot go through the filters of kidney can be actually accommodated through the soluble fiber, and then the fiber can get into the stools, which is actually the solid excretion. See, we have talked about gas and the excretion, that is all kinds of gases, okay? Carbon dioxide, sometimes H2S and other things also. Next, we have talked about urine containing this kind of urea, creatinine, uric acid, sometimes protein being leaked, albuminuria they call. Then your legs swell and face swell. In fact, many of the kids have this problem when they have infections sometimes. So all these things, the allopathic treatment is through steroids, basically. They deal with steroids. And steroids cause more troubles in terms of immune system and our bone marrow getting affected, all other issues, side effects of that. But then they say, oh, we have to save this, so this is less dangerous. But then if you correct in the food itself, you can get out of these chronic conditions. So drinking ambali is what we first prescribe for kidney patients for 6 to 8 weeks, so that you fill with your microbes the gut, and then the remaining jobs are done properly, because it is the microbes in your gut that decide. In fact, I call it second brain. It plans all the logistics, where the things are bad, where things are good, where the nutrition parts like vitamins, this vitamin has to go there, that vitamin has to go there, this cells have to go there, this cells are not doing well, how to detect all these systems, regulators, promoters, transducers, all these kinds of high level supervising things happen with the help of microbial systems if they are healthy in our gut. So if your kidney has to be functioning properly, you want to keep this aspect of your food in good condition. So that's why I keep mentioning ambali at least 3 to 4 times a week is an important aspect of your food practices. And without that, we are going to, actually a microbial system has its effect on various functions of our body, including brain function. Lot of chemicals that keep you happy are released if the microbes are good in your tummy. So that's what I keep talking about, that the millets with its wonderful fiber content and the way we consume, the methods that I am talking is not today's. Ancestors of various parts of the globe have developed this wonderful fermentation processes. And then I have actually studied many of these and then found out, and we have been doing videos about how to do the most easy, and anyone and anywhere can be reproduced in a very systematic manner, and you will be very happy consuming this ambali. And initially people may find it difficult. What is this ambali? And it has to be like this. But once you get used to it, in fact, I have people who say without ambali, they cannot eat food. They want ambali first, then only they can eat other things. I mean, to that extent, it does good and it feels good. It's a wonderful thing. So you want to get out of your kidney problems, start on ambali. And ambali is going to save you. And of course, SCADAs and the protocols strictly follow. We have all kinds of protocols written. There are some less problems, like kidney gives you signals. Sometimes you are having a lot of itching, and lot of so-called autoimmune diseases becoming red, pimples on the body, and accumulation of water. When you travel, say long distance, people start observing their legs are swelling, their shoes are not fitting, and that is the signal that you are given by the body that, oh, your kidneys are. You may go and check. All things parameters may be in place in your clinical or diagnostic lab reports, but still these symptoms you do not neglect. So start checking on your protein consumption. Is it more? Checking on processing foods. And one more important problem we have is coffee and tea. This caffeine is basically can disturb your nervous system, and nephrons and neurons work very coordinatedly for the filtering of these things. So neurons and nephrons have to work in a very coordinated fashion. So when caffeine is more in your body and disturbing the nervous system, obviously most sensitive part is your kidney. So many old people have helped making them well when we stop coffee and tea. So coffee, tea, proteins, processed foods, and then this so-called painkillers, steroids, all these are enemies. And that's how you are generating your kidney issues. So be aware of this. You should be doing fine. And more important, to teach your kids these aspects so that their kidneys are functioning well throughout their lives. And there is one more associated thing is called prostate gland, which actually for men associated with these parts. And there is one more thing called adrenal gland, which is actually sitting right on top of the kidneys. It's another endocrine gland that is involved in steroid metabolism and emergency activities like that. If you see a lion, you want to run, and if you are playing some games, one-upmanship, you want your adrenaline is kicking in, and this is how people talk. So they are also, but actually the adrenal system is just sitting on the kidneys. It's a beautiful, like a cap, it sits. So if the kidney physically starts shrinking or things like that, that means you're going to disturb your adrenal system also. And then if your bladder is actually nearby in men, the prostate gland, if that gets inflamed, if there is some problem, prostatomegaly or inflammation, then your urination patterns change. So it is not directly connected to kidneys, but these are two organs which are close by physically. So sometimes these things can also go wrong if something is wrong with your kidneys, or other way around sometimes. If there is an infection on adrenal glands or some cyst forming or some extra growth happening, it can disturb your kidney. Or prostate gland is getting cancerous condition, your kidneys get infected. All these are interrelated, being physically present together. So many prostate gland problems can be solved if you follow these protocols, and you should be doing fine. Once you go through our booklet and books, things will be all right. So that much is from my side, and we can have some question and answers. I hope you got the full picture of, and there's a lot more which I myself don't know about. There are a lot of things, because see, for me, I believe we only know this much about our systems. And there's a lot more to learn, a lot more to discover, a lot more to grasp, a lot more to comprehend. But on the whole, these are basic things. If we are aware of, we can be functional and being well on this planet. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was a wonderful and clear explanation on kidneys, sir. Few members sent few questions.
Yes.
Let us get into it, sir. How do we monitor kidneys? Any symptoms that we can identify that we are having kidney issues? Any natural way we can identify or go for any test regularly?
Yeah, I have already
Just now,
indicated in,
yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if there is swelling under your eyes, or sometimes even upper lids swell, and then fingers, as when you're traveling, your fingers, both in hands, and start swelling. And
Yes, sir.
sometimes you get a itching feeling or numbness, things like that. Of course, it is also related to heart, but heart and kidney are so much interrelated because of the blood cleaning and this and that. So that's thing. And sometimes your lungs also get affected. So your breathing, sometimes breathing. Many people have got asthmatic conditions because of their kidney not being functioning all right, but people are not noticing that. So you have any breathing troubles, you got to check. You have any edema, that's called pedal edema, legs, basically legs, and your toes and foot start swelling. And if you actually do not urinate for a few hours, 1 or 2 times extra, then you start feeling dizziness. And all these are symptoms. Even before you go to a lab test, you can know that the kidney is under stress. And of course, many people have this, kids also get into this condition, albuminuria. So the proteins themselves start leaking. And actually whole body swells, the face, and including your nose, eyes start swelling. And once the leak is over, the protein is over, then you seem to gather yourself. But then this keeps happening repeatedly. And basically you are put on steroids. But you can get out of it using our protocols.
Yes, sir. Sir, why kidney patients should not take sodium, phosphorus, and potassium related foods, and how they impact? And also, if we do not take them, other issues will rise due to imbalance. How to manage this too? And also, can
Yes.
you please, yes, sir.
That's, go ahead, complete the question.
And also, can you please suggest the fruits and vegetables they can take?
Yeah, there is a misconception that you should not eat that, you should not eat this, and salts. And you see, the problem is that your salt concentration increases because the functioning of kidneys is screwed up. The filtering is not happening. So what is supposed to go in urine is not going, it is getting back into your blood. So when the potassium is increasing, sodium is increasing, then you say, don't eat sodium, don't eat potassium, don't eat this fruit, don't eat that vegetable, this vegetable. But the basic thing you are supposed to do is let sodium and potassium, whatever is accumulating, which is not wanted, has to be filtered properly. So that has to happen. So for that, you need to follow this kadas, especially Punarnava, is that Bohirhavia diffuser is wonderful. It starts cleaning up of your nephrons and then allows these functions to replenish, regenerate, and makes things start happening within 3 to 8 weeks. And there is one problem which I have not talked of. All these things happening, the extra cholesterol and phosphates, oxalates, and some salts together can start forming stones in your kidney. Yeah,
my
kidney stones.
Question is that only.
Yeah, kidney stone is a big problem, because once the kidney stones are getting accumulated, you will start having immense pain. In fact, one of the most difficult pains to bear after your toothache or tooth problems is next is your kidney pains. Very, very deep, troubling pains you have when you have kidney stones moving in the kidney sometimes. So all that can be taken care of if you have on a day-to-day cleaning business. That's why we keep telling, once in a week you keep taking kothambari rasam, that is kothambari kashayam, coriander kashayam, and then ranapala, bryophyllum pinnatum, and then bale dindu, that is our banana stem.
Banana stem.
Yeah, all these things. And so many of the gods, like ash god also has this kind of dissolving the stones and circulating them into the blood and getting rid of them in a very innocuous way. So this is another, you will find that in our protocols, we have clearly mentioned this issue also. Yeah.
Yes, sir, in that case, can they take tomato seeds, brinjal, and leafy vegetables, etc.?
No one need to sit and take tomato seeds, but you don't need to clean it up. I mean, you can just take rasam and always be in balance. You can eat as you start correcting. And if you are on tablets on allopathic system, God only can help you. I mean, they will help you to the extent they can help you. Beyond that, it becomes more acute, more chronic, and one leads to the other. So you want to get out of allopathic system and then starts on this diet. I don't call this diet, on this food changes, and follow these natural methods. And there are some good Ayurvedic medicines also to meet these conditions. And if you have happened to come across good homeopathy or allopathy, no, allopathy, the initial stages is okay. But then if you have observing 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, then I would certainly want all fellows to get out of allopathic system, because they are going to lead you into more complicated problems. So 1 or 2 months is okay. But beyond that, please get out of allopathic system and seek homeopathy or naturopathy or Ayurvedic systems, which have better solutions for you. And the best solution is to switch to millets and the protocols. The
Yes, sir.
problems are solved permanently for you.
Yes, sir. In kidney patients, the hemoglobin levels goes down. How to increase the hemoglobin levels, and how long it takes to bring the levels to normal?
It depends on each patient. You cannot generalize. Depends on how he adapts, how does he change his food and kadas, and how strictly he follows. And as a clinical physician, which we have been following and watching hundreds and thousands of patients, we find it is very different for different people, different kind of practices. And some people cannot get out of coffee addiction. Some people don't want to get out of drinks. Some people are smokers. Some people have this gutka putka habits. So all these things, it takes a lot of time. So I cannot say, 3 months you are done. 2 months you are done. Some people,
No one can say that, sir.
yeah, no one can say. But you can certainly get out of these problems if you practice all that aspects that I have told you and keep yourself aware of these issues.
Yes, sir.
You see, the point is, when we are healthy, nothing matters. It doesn't hit you.
Yes, sir.
But then one can be healthy by being aware. So actually, most of the people by the age of 50 earlier used to get up in the night once or twice to urinate, because the prostate and the filtering problems start happening. There is no need to say that most of the people have these problems. And that's what is the so-called present day science fellows keep telling. Oh, you're old, your prostate, you get up once or twice. Okay, like that. That's not the right attitude. Why am I doing this? Why should I get up? If I don't get up at all. If I sleep by 10 o'clock, I get up only at 5 o'clock if someone doesn't disturb me,
Yes.
So when you get up, you go and urinate. Okay, that should be. So I'm 64 now. It doesn't happen at all, but that's because I'm aware that I need to keep my kidneys clean and I should make the function easy. So I am taking care of what goes into my mouth. And so these are very important things which we can do. Everyone can do. Everyone can do. And that's the point I'm trying to communicate, that we all can be healthy by following certain simple natural rules.
Yes, sir.
And you see, people are throwing statistics, 2 million out of this, 100 million. What is this? So we should actually have been counting. Oh, rarely some fellow gets into this condition. And like that, we should have been talking by now, if our science was right. If what we were doing things scientifically, then we should have been eliminating these diseases over a period of 20, 20, 30 or 40 years. But so-called present day, so-called scientific modern medicine has been in vogue for the last 50 years. Imagine, say 50 years, with all their mind-boggling advanced technologies. Are we decreasing the number of any patients? No.
No, sir.
That is the proof of
It's increasing.
it's increasing. That is the proof that the science that we are following to deal with these issues is not the right thing. That is the proof. And that's why we need to get back, finding out the right methods to keep ourselves healthy instead of becoming sick and then doing nonsense things. How not to fall sick should have been our focus. And that's what I have been trying to communicate to people. How not to fall sick is the most important thing if you are talking about being a physician. And by now, we should do these things. And I'm glad I have at least started working on these lines. And I hope the future physicians will pick up a straw or two from my work.
Yes, sir. Let's hope so, sir. Sir, due to kidney failure, a lot of patients have to be dependent on dialysis. Does it really help in dialysis? What kind of foods they have to take?
Yeah, we have actually got a protocol completely dedicated to dialysis.
Yes.
Dialysis happening due to diabetic condition or BP condition or extra protein or your bad habits, drinking, smoking, and not sleeping in the nights properly, and all this, anything, if it has led to dialysis, you have to follow the only protocol that we have mentioned, the CARDAS. And I have told you, many people have come out of dialysis condition and they are leading their normal life. And how many, it's all people who have followed things properly have come out. So you have to eliminate the causes, the foods, the habits that have caused the kidney failure in the first place. So without doing that, you can never get into the normal functioning kidneys. Of course, most of these so-called present day doctors declare once your kidney is gone, you're gone. I mean, it's a matter of time. So I don't believe that it is true. We can actually get back and have a good functioning kidney if we take care of it. It may take 2 or 3 years, sometimes 4 years, but we still have good methods of doing it. And I hope future generations do more work and figure out things in a much better fashion.
Yes, sir. Sir, in that case, do we need to take homeo medicine or our protocol is enough, sir?
Whatever medicines you take, you need the protocol. And homeopathy and Ayurveda are natural systems. They do not burden. So I advise people to take homeopathy. The reason homeopathy is easily available, the medicines and things. Ayurveda, it's tough. You need to find a good Ayurveda doctor and to give you medicines and all that. And Ayurveda has been neglected in our country for the last 50 years. So I'm not saying there are no good doctors. There are, but they are rare. There are very few in the country. Yeah.
Sir, what is your opinion on kidney transplantation, sir? Does it really works?
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It has worked for some people, but it is such a tedious process and a very costly process. And then after you have kidney transplant, the immunology, I mean, the acceptance of the foreign body into your system itself is a huge thing to manage. And so their lives are not normal. It takes a long time for them to get the kidney transplanted, accepted by your system, and immunosuppressants and a lot of other, so other things happen. So you see, technology can come up with whatever they want, but then are we really giving back the life that it was before is the question that we should ask. And that means we are settling down to whatever little that can be done. You know, that's the way I look at it. I'm not saying that transplant doesn't work. Yes, it works some cases. And at a high cost, First of all, you need to find someone to give you the kidneys. And they have to be in good condition. You know, it's a huge, humongous, incredible tasks we are talking about. And the rate at which people are losing their kidneys, how many people can get transplanted kidneys? I mean, its percentage is not even 0.5, I believe. So how can that be a method of doing things for this kind of CKD problems, So the best option we have is to understand the mechanism to keep us doing well. And that should be the focus of our all efforts.
Sir, why oils cannot be consumed by the kidney patients and what are the adverse effects by it?
No, there are no adverse effects. There is nothing like that. It is that it is not necessary. Okay. Say, imagine your hormone imbalance or an endocrine glands are haywire. Then we advise, because the cleaning happens with those oils. Imagine you are a type 1 diabetes. In fact, I say type 2 diabetes people can just use ghani oils for cooking. They don't need to consume in the morning, early morning. So, but type 1 diabetes, just day before yesterday, I got a boy, 15 years old, type 1 diabetes. He has been taking injections from the age of 5. And he came here 3 years back. Now, he has left his insulin. It's been 6 months. And he's doing fine with millets and the protocol. And in fact, his kidney was getting out of order when he came to us. And then he followed the protocol and then his kidney became all right. And now he has gotten rid of the insulin also. It's been 6 months. And in fact, he climbed Chamundi and his parents came and said, they gave me some prasadam, sir. Because of you, my boy is out of insulin, out of this. And he was very happy, the boy, because he is now, he wanted to be a cricket player, and now he's actually going and practicing cricket, which was not possible. Yeah. So all these things are possible.
Yes, sir, for a kidney patient, doctor has prescribed Renadine, a probiotic specially designed for CKD. Can I take it? Ambali is also a probiotic, so I fear that taking Renadine after Ambali may cause some adverse reactions.
No. Once you're taking Ambali, the good microbes start inhabiting your microbe. They will take care of all kinds of problems. So don't worry about it. But Ambali protocol is important. And the medicines and the probiotics, they give a capsule. In fact, you should be worried about the capsule cover. That is dangerous for you. It's not the thing that is inside the capsule. It is the capsule material itself is danger for your kidney.
Yes, sir. Sir,
so when you have natural probiotic Ambali, it is so easy. Why do we need to depend on something?
Yes,
what it means is, see, they are vindicating what I have been talking. That means they are also trying to regenerate things with probiotic. That means they are interested. What I have been telling all along is the right thing, isn't it? Why are they coming to this point again, if that's what they are talking about? Am I right?
Yes, sir. True, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
and they are doing a small selected probiotic condition. We are talking about the full length system getting active with our Ambali.
In a natural way, sir.
In a natural way, yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am a CKD stage 5 patient and following Khadar dialysis protocol since December 2020. My hemoglobin was 11.25 in January and now it's reduced to 8. RBC also got reduced, but my iron got increased 120 to 77 and ferritin got hiked 226 to 700. Why, sir? Doctors are advising to take erythropoietin injection to increase hemoglobin, but I don't want to take the chemicals. How to improve my erythropoietin hormone without taking injection?
They're too specific. But you can follow the thing is that your creatinine and urea levels must be also increasing. If your hemoglobin is decreasing, means that's what is happening. So, and it takes more time. That's one thing I can tell you. And you can follow the bloodlessness, that is your anemic conditions. the carrot, beetroot, amlaki juice. That also will keep you going. So you are in a complex condition. You may have to manage this and that, that and this. So I certainly think you should go to a good homeo doctor and
Yes, sir.
or Ayurveda doctor to get some help, so that your basic functions cannot get disturbed. Yeah.
That's true, sir.
Apart from the protocols, you need some help with good doctors without
Sir.
chemicals being injected. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, a person with GFR7, and can I avoid dialysis for lifelong only by following Khadar sir dialysis protocol? I don't eat anything except ambali and kashaya. Can I avoid dialysis for my lifelong?
I suppose in another 6 months to 1 year, you should start feeling better, and then you can avoid. Yeah, I guess so. Please. And I would certainly suggest you to take care of, to take help of a good Ayurveda doctor or a homeopathy doctor, because you are in a critical condition. You are not in a very just beginning stage or something like that. I mean,
Sir,
you are knocking at the doors. Yeah.
that's what I am suggesting to this member, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am very much faith in your lifestyle, and I am following the protocol since six months or so. I met you in Mumbai regarding my sister's health issue, and she is suffering from CKD since 4 years. You told me to give millets, but as these patients have the tendency of water retention, she got swelling in her body. Since millets are soaked in too much water and also cooked in large amount of water, what is the alternative? Please help.
No, all your observations are wrong. There is no large amount of water. They soaked in water. See, you soak and it absorbs what it can absorb. So you are not increasing water. It is because of the CKD condition, your sister is getting swelling and all that, which I have explained to you very clearly. Whether you eat millets or no millets, it will happen. So it's not due to millets that is happening. And of course, the modern allopathy doctors would say, hey, all that is bogus and all that. But as I have been trying to communicate to you people, many people have been benefited by doing this protocol, and it does take long time. And I cannot also predict how long it takes, because there are so many factors for each individual. So please do follow sincerely. You will certainly find more and more benefits to come by in coming months. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And as I keep telling, if you have kidney problems, you need to get to a good homeo doctor or Ayurveda doctor to manage emergencies sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Because when your blood is not clean, many infections happen. Actually, a lot of infections happens, the complications happen. All that have to be dealt with good homeo doctor or Ayurveda doctor. So I sincerely request all the people going through the CKDs to get to nearest homeo or Ayurveda doctors, because allopathy doctors are going to complicate and lead you into a more difficult situation. So I sincerely request everyone, CKD patients, to seek help of good homeo doctor or good Ayurveda doctor. And what is good, you have to find out. I cannot figure out a good homeo and Ayurveda doctors for you. You need to go and search and then do these things. That's very important.
Yes, sir.
See, diabetic patients, you don't need a doctor. Just following these protocols, you will start getting benefited. But kidney patients, certainly you need a good homeo or Ayurveda doctor to manage you. Please, on this platform, I'm requesting all these people to do that sincerely. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So many members are requesting for online consultation, sir.
Yeah, but I'm kind of having limitations because I have to work. See, today, morning from 9:30 till 6:30, I have
Yes, sir.
worked
I can
non-stop. And on Thursdays, it is worse. And on every day, actually, yesterday also I worked. And when do I have time? People who are coming from all places. And now online, I mean, it takes again hours together. So I also have to sleep. I also have to have some life. So it's difficult. And online, I cannot help with any medicines. You can only have the satisfaction of talking to me and getting some advice, which we have already done through PDFs and many videos and
Many
Padmaja,
sessions.
many sessions and asking questions. And so you just get back to the videos and the books, all that. And that's what we have been doing sincerely. And in fact, I have been giving these so-called Zoom sessions or Google sessions, many kinds of platforms. Not only Padmaja, I have been doing with many people. Whoever asks me, I have been giving my time. And each Zoom session also takes 1.5 hours or so. And I also have to cook and help my wife, though I don't.
Yes, sir. I know about your daily routines.
Yeah. So all these things and online session gets into more complications because I do not see things properly. These onlines are online. You cannot do much. So not that I don't believe I have to help, and I understand that, but it's difficult for me to engage in online sessions. And then they become very demanding because you people may not get things that what you want. Then you start asking us to arrange. It becomes a big mess for me. And as such, my wife keeps telling you are doing too many things, and and of course they keep reminding me you are aged and 64, you need to take care. Yeah, I mean it's okay. And I know I have to politely refuse that I cannot deal with online sessions. And I actually am doing online sessions, almost every week, 5 to 7 sessions I've been doing in the last 4 or 5 months,
Yes,
or
sir.
even more than that. Yeah. So I am online with many people and doing things. And in fact, we have had some places patients directly interacting and things like that. So in fact, I have had just UK session we did, and even in America we have done more than 20 sessions, and so we are doing all that we can. Yeah, please, you all have to pardon me. I'm not able to meet your expected.
Oh, no, sir. We can understand
yeah.
everything, sir. Sir, shall we take questions from members? Sir?
Yeah, please. Few and yeah.
Yes, sir. Divyashri, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Namaste, Khadar garu. Actually, my friend is coming from IgN FFRati. Is it reversible? And doctor suggested not to take the protein.
Yeah. Now people are talking. All these doctors have realized that. Yeah.
That as millet contains protein, can IgN FFRati patient can eat the millet?
Yeah. Millets are very balanced food. So no problems. And because of the fiber being present in a very beautifully arranged manner, they do not present any problem for this kind of patients. So please, without any doubt in your mind, please go ahead and start protocols.
Yes, sir. Shabana ji, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for giving the chance here. Sir,
Yeah.
actually, my son is 14 years old, and right from my pregnancy, I came to know that his left kidney is not developed properly.
Yeah.
And like he's only on his right kidney, and he's also got the problem of hydronephrosis. His urine goes back. So, sir, like we did not have any problem. I'm constantly with all the doctors, and his sonography is on and on. But from the last 1 year, he's suffering from fever again and again. Every 20 days, it is
basically
recurring.
the infections are happening. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
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 Sir, so actually last year I tried to start with all this millet diet and we followed the protocol and everything. But because of this lockdown and all, we could not get another lot of millets and said I had to
Okay.
discontinue.
Yeah,
Now,
you can
sir,
start
I was,
now. Yeah, actually, you can get it from Mysore. Now they are couriering people. Where are you?
I'm at Maharashtra, sir, Mumbai.
No, Mumbai. Now a lot of people are getting millets from Mysore. So
Yes,
you
sir.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Sir,
can
but
give you.
actually, sir, actually, I wanted to take an appointment also, and I've got the date like 29th August. I'll have to call and then I'll have to come. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
come. But sir,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Please,
wanted to
but
ask
you don't
you.
need to. You don't need to. If the boy is not having complete problems, you can clean up, and keep the kidney clean, and no fear of having any problem. Just follow the kidney cleaning procedure. You will be all right. And now millets are available now. No problem. You can get it by courier also regularly. Hundreds of people are getting it from Mysore. So you get the number and then please order, and they are sending it. No problem.
Please message me in Facebook. I will share you the number.
No, there are a lot of places in Bangalore also. A lot of people are doing that. So
There
and
are not reliable, na, sir.
yeah, you can get it from here, Mysuru shop. Arogya Honey is.
Yes, sir. Next, Prem Kumar,
And
please unmute.
kadas are very important for kidney problems. So you need to find some nurseries to give you these kadas, huh? Please
Yes, sir. Prem Kumar.
Hello, sir.
go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
clear.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir,
I can
Telugulo
see you too.
మాట్లాడతారా?
Ask Padmaja. She has to
Ayyo,
give you the
parvaలేదు, sir.
Okay, no
permission.
problem. I'll explain.
Cha-
I'll explain in
cha-
English. Not a problem.
చెప్పండి,
No.
పర్వాలేదు.
పర్లేదు తెలుగులో అంటే వేరే వాళ్ళందరికీ
No,
there are a lot
I
of
heard
people who
your
do not know
videos.
Telugu.
I seen your videos in Telugu. That's the reason I am comfortable. Not a problem.
Yeah.
I'll explain the condition. Like when my brother was of 17 years old, we come to know that he's suffering with hydronephrosis, gross hydronephrosis. Like the thing is, we have gone through all the medications. Like when we have got him admitted in the hospital, so the condition was like we never known that he was suffering with such a problem.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we come to know, and when we have admitted him, we got to know that the creatine level is like 1.66, and the thing is complete the urine has been filled in his left kidney, and the
Mhm.
functioning percentage was like 4. And now recently, like last month, this month itself, we have again done the nuclear scan as well as CT KUB plane, and we come to know that the kidney size is like 109 into 103 mm. Just a moment, sir.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
190. It is 190 into 103 mm,
Yeah.
the left kidney size. And the report says that gross left hydrouteronephrosis with severe cortical thinning and abrupt narrowing PUJ. Likely PUJ stricture, possibility of multicystic dysplastic kidney remains the differential diagnosis.
Okay.
So this is
Yeah.
the
Just don't bother about all that. Follow the kidney cleaning protocol. And if creatinine is below 2 or 3, it's very easy. And he's a young boy. Absolutely no problems. Follow it strictly. He will be all right in a matter of a year. Absolutely.
If you still have any questions, please join in our Facebook group, Dr. Khadar Lifestyle, and ask your questions there. Next, Prem, Hyderabad. Please unmute yourself.
హలో సార్.
Yes.
మీ డైట్ 2 months నుంచి అంబలి ఇదంతా ఫాలో అవుతున్నాను సార్. చాలా హెల్ప్ చేసింది. లైక్ షుగర్ లెవెల్స్, ఈ కంప్లీట్ బ్లడ్ పిక్చర్ ఇవన్నీ నార్మల్కి వచ్చాయి సార్. కానీ
Thanks.
రీసెంట్గా థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్. ఇది ఒక డయాగ్నోసిస్ చేసినారు సార్. పెయిన్ చాలా వస్తే స్టెమక్లో, అది పర్పిరల్ అడినోమా కార్సినోమా అని అది సర్జరీ చేసినారు సార్. సర్జరీ చేసినారు. దే కాస్టెడ్ మీ వెరీ లాట్ సార్. నేను ఒక ఐటీ ఎంప్లాయీ సార్. మీ ఫాలో అవుతున్నా 2 months నుంచి, స్ట్రిక్ట్ డైట్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నా. వాళ్ళు అంతకుముందు ఇట్లా నీకు ఎక్కువ ఉండే కదా వాల్యూస్, ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు తక్కువ అయినాయి అని దే యూస్ టు ఆస్క్ మీ ఎవ్రీ డే వైల్ సర్జరీ. నాకు ఆక్సిజన్ కూడా అది 7.
Please follow it for another 6. Yeah, I understand. You follow stomach cancer protocol. మీరు ఏమి don't break your head. Just follow stomach cancer protocol 6 months to 1 year. You will be completely all right. Nothing to worry.
Yes, sir.
And if possible, seek a good homeo doctor or Ayurveda doctor's help. ఆయన వినపడటం లేదు, ఆయన మాట్లాడుతున్నారు.
నేను మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను సార్.
చెప్పండి.
అన్మ్యూట్ చేయమంటారా సార్ ఆయన మళ్ళీ ఒక్కసారి?
ఆయన కంప్లీట్ గా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్.
వెయిట్ చేయండి ప్రేమ్ గారు, అన్మ్యూట్ చేసాను చూడండి.
సార్ అయితే ఇది చాలా బాగా వర్కౌట్ అవుతుంది సార్. ఆపరేషన్ టైంలో కూడా నాకు బ్లడ్ ఎక్కియలేదు, అన్ని నార్మల్ వచ్చినాయి సార్. ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు రీసెంట్ గా సర్జరీ పెయిన్ వస్తే సర్జరీ చేసినారు సార్. మా ఫాదర్ వాళ్ళు కొంచెం వరి అయి తీసుకుపోయి సర్జరీ చేపించినారు. ఇప్పుడు డాక్టర్ ఏమంటుండు, కీమో చేయాలి అంటున్నాడు సార్.
కీమో అవసరం లేదు, మీరు స్టమక్ క్యాన్సర్ ప్రోటోకాల్ ఫాలో అవ్వండి. క్యాన్సర్ ఆపరేషన్ చేశారు కదా, కీమో అవసరం లేదు, మీకేమి ఇబ్బంది కాదు. 6 నెలల్లో మీకు అన్ని సర్దుకుంటాయి. మొదలు పెట్టండి, స్టమక్ క్యాన్సర్ ప్రోటోకాల్ మొదలు పెట్టండి.
హాస్పిటల్లో కూడా తాగిన సార్, వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేది ఏది తినలేదు.
మంచిది, మీరేం కాదు.
హాస్పిటల్లో కూడా సీక్రెట్ గా తెప్పించుకో.
మీకు హైదరాబాద్ లో మంచి ఆయుర్వేద డాక్టర్ ఉంటే అక్కడికి వెళ్ళండి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్.
వెరీ నైస్, గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
మహేష్ టీ, ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్సెల్ఫ్.
పుట్టి ఇక్కడే ఉంది. అయిపోయింది వస్తున్నా.
సెషన్ వింటుందేమో సార్ తను కూడా.
హలో సార్.
ఎస్.
మేము ఆస్ట్రేలియాలో ఉంటాం సార్. మాకు 3 కషాయాలు వీక్లీ వన్స్ ఒకటి తాగమని సజెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. కానీ మాకు ఇక్కడ కొరియాండర్ లీవ్స్ తప్ప ఇంకా వేరే ఏమీ దొరకటం లేదు. మేము డ్రైడ్ హర్బ్స్ పౌడర్స్ అమెజాన్ లో అవి దొరికేవి, అవి వాడచ్చా? ఎందుకంటే ఫ్రెష్ వి దొరకట్లేదు మాకు.
Dry powders do not work as efficiently, but they may be okay in the absence of you not getting anything. Maybe 5 to 10% only they work. You understand? Maybe you are better off getting the saplings and then growing it for yourself.
Okay. Instead of banana stem, is there any replacement herb or any alternative we can use?
Banana stem is so easy to get. I mean, you can actually get a banana sapling and grow. I mean, you will keep getting the saplings and you can just, I mean, it doesn't take more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So I think banana is everywhere. I mean, in Australia, don't they grow banana? I mean, I'm sure they're growing banana. And Bill Gates is supposed to be doing a big thing on there.
Yes, sir. Bhavik, please unmute yourself.
Okay, we close after
yes,
this.
That's the last question. Bhavik ji, please unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I live in New Zealand.
Yes.
I'm following. I'm a CKD patient, IgA nephropathy. I've been following the protocol for the last 5 months. And I'm feeling very happy, sir. My GFR is stable. It is at 20 right now, which has not gone any down in the last 5 months at all. And creatinine is very stable at all. But the thing is, it is not improving. It is just stable there where it was.
What is the number?
Creatinine is 221 in New Zealand numbers.
321.
321. Sorry, 321. So. It goes down in Indian numbers. I guess it goes to somewhere about like I think 4 or 5 or something.
4.1 or something like that. Yeah,
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 something like that.
321 around 4 point.
Yeah, yes, sir.
4 point something. Yeah.
And GFR is 20. So, sir, no other complications. The BP is before starting the protocol, BP was not good. BP is stable, cholesterol stable. So it is getting better. But
Yes.
I've got a little complication. The hemoglobin reduced, and the doctor a couple of days ago asked me to take injection in my tummy.
Yeah. That's okay.
So-
You can take once in a while to keep the blood levels high. I mean, not high, not going low. That's okay. No problems. And a matter of another year or so, you will see all things, even creatinine and all these things going down. Nothing to worry. You're doing very good, actually. You're doing very good.
Sir, one question from Umesh ji, sir. Umesh ji,
Yeah.
please unmute yourself. He's been waiting for.
ಹಲೋ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ನಡ
ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸರ್, ಅದೇ ಸರ್, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕಾಲು ಊದ್ಕೊಳ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನ ಸರ್, ಬೇರೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಆತರ?
ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹೃದಯ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದು. ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೃದಯದಿಂದಾನು ಆತರ ಗೊಂದಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ. ಎರಡೂ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಇರಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್
ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂನಾ ಸರ್ ಇದು?
it is going to be serious. Now it is not serious, but it's going to. Any wise ಎಷ್ಟು?
ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ವಯಸ್ಸು 21 ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಫ್ರೇಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
21 ಆದ್ರೆ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂನೇ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೊ ನೀನು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳು, ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಅಥವಾ ಹೋಮಿಯೋಪತಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ಊರು ನಿಂದು? ಯಾವ ಊರು? ಊರು ಯಾವ್ದು? ఓకేనమ్మా, విల్ క్లోజ్.
సార్ లాస్ట్ ఒక్కటి నా రిక్వెస్ట్ సార్, ఆవిడెవరో గెలాక్సీ J2 Pro పాపం స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి అడుగుతున్నారు సార్. ప్లీజ్.
Hello sir.
Yes,
Good evening.
go ahead.
Sir, can I ask in Hindi?
Oh, go ahead.
Sir,
बोलिए,
my
बोलिए.
mother, मेरी माँ को डायलिसिस चल रहा है 1.5 साल से, और उनको बहुत सारे मेडिकल प्रॉब्लम है, शुगर है, बीपी है। वो लास्ट ईयर कोरोना पॉजिटिव हो गई थी, उसके बाद म्यूकर माइकोस हो गया था। हमें पिछले 2 महीने से आपका प्रोटोकॉल पता चला है, तो हमने शुरू कर दिया है को। उनका यूरिन फंक्शन जो है, किडनी फंक्शन, वो बहुत ही लो है, यूरिन होता ही नहीं उनको। तो क्या ये हेल्प कर सकता है? हम क्या इस पे क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? हमें प्रोटोकॉल कुछ भी तक पता नहीं है। सिर्फ उनको अम्बली देना जो किया है, वो भी वो शाम को लेती है। तो
ऐसा
हम ये
नहीं है
कैसे
प्रोटोकॉल.
follow करें?
नो, या आपको बहुत सारा वीडियोस देखना पड़ता है, नहीं तो खादर लाइफस्टाइल पद्मजा से जुड़ा हो जाइए और इससे आपको सब
अच्छा।
कुछ प्रोटोकॉल सब कुछ मिलेगा. सो डॉक्टर खादर लाइफस्टाइल ज्वाइन
अच्छा।
करने से आपको सब इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगा. और कहाँ पे है आप?
और ये कषाय
सब
नासिक
कुछ।
में हूँ मैं, महाराष्ट्र नासिक।
नासिक में आप
ये कषाय जो देते हैं,
कषाय अलोन, काफी कषाय से कुछ भी नहीं होता है. सब कुछ फॉलो करना है. प्रोटोकॉल समग्र रूप में आपका जीवन में अपनाना है. सो सब कुछ
अच्छा,
करना है.
आप
ये
एक
मैं
बार
कैसे?
नहीं मैडम, 1 मिनट. आपका लिंक चैट बॉक्स में दिया है, वो फेसबुक ग्रुप में ज्वाइन कीजिए. मैं पूरा डिटेल्स आपको बता दूंगी. सर को अब लाइव में बताना मुश्किल
Okay,
है,
ma'am.
इसके लिए वो लिंक क्लिक करके
Okay,
ज्वाइन
okay.
कीजिए.
Thank you,
पूरा
ma'am.
प्रोटोकॉल.
It is
Thank you.
possible. It is possible.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Possible, doctor. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
yes. Sir, thanks for your answers and explanation on each aspect, sir. Thank you again, sir, for your valuable time and efforts for the society. I hope all this message will be taken by the participants and spread it across to their family and friends. Dear members, if you have any questions, you can join in our Facebook group in the name of Dr. Khadar Lifestyle and ask there. We will respond back. Thank you again and have a good night. Thank you so much,
Good
sir.
night.
Good night.
Record